Presenting from the creators of Hiker Mike, Hitchhiker Mike, now with serial killer knife. Hello everyone and welcome to a Retired Review. Today we're going to be taking a look at every combo model made for the Slizer theme. Now there aren't many, and normally I wouldn't even do this because combo models are more of a remix review thing. However, the remix reviews, in all honesty, are just for the Bionicle combo models. I have no intention of going over every theme's alternate or combo models. However, I have all the Slizers. I think this is a pretty good opportunity to at least cover these because there isn't a whole lot of coverage for them. And I figure, why the heck not? Let's just do it while we're here, so let's get started. We'll start off with the good Slizers, these four here, and after taking them apart and rebuilding them, we have Robotops. Now, they're all named. I don't really have a source for all of the names except for one. However, these are the names I've been seeing on numerous websites. So this combo model is, I think it's one of the better ones, at least in my opinion it is, though it's not a high bar. I like the build, the sturdiness of this set, though the articulation leaves a lot to be desired. The color scheme is obviously a jumbled mess of colors. Granted, I have a natural affinity for the red, white, and blue, though the others definitely muddle it a bit. As far as functions, it has your usual gear functions, two actually in the torso, so you can move different parts of his torso up and down. And of course the disc function, which I have displayed enough times, so you know what it does. Again, the articulation is limited, especially in these upper arms, and in the legs, it's there, but it's only on one axis, forward and backward. I like the design of the legs from a on-paper, conceptual standpoint, but actually getting to build them and try and play with them, they're very stiff. And I'm glad it's not a design we saw attempted later. Overall, it's bizarre. The shaping is really weird, the head is really strange, and building this thing was a nightmare because all the instructions are very low quality and it was difficult to figure out whether or not the colors were in the right places, specifically the blues. In fact, to this day, I'm not even sure that they are. Regardless, let's move on. Next up, we're going to take the evil Slizers, take them apart, rebuild them, and we have Char X. Now this one I actually really do enjoy because it's a dinosaur and I think that's really cool. Granted, it does have a few peculiarities to it. First of all, the legs are massively gappy and really spindly as well. I just don't like how they look. They look very, I don't know, not robotic. That's not the word I'm looking for. Bare bones is a little closer to how I want to describe it. As far as functions, it has the articulation in the legs, has articulation in the neck, which I really do enjoy, and of course it does have a gear function, so you can move the head in a particular way. Additionally, the tail can be pulled in and out so that you can make these wings, I guess, on the top, kind of go forward and backward. I'm sure that if you put discs in them and then did that function, the discs would fly out to the side. So that's a cool idea. I don't mind that concept too much. And of course, speaking of the discs, you can throw discs with the arms. Seen that function enough, you know how it works. Overall, I like the concept of this a little bit more than the actual combo itself. I like it because it's a dinosaur, and I actually think the colors used here are really cool. It's really neat to see such rare colors kind of all in one place. The tan, the purple, the teal, the yellow. It's neat. I like that part. Again, it's a little skeletal, it's a little spindly. I don't think it looks very complete, but of course it's a combo model, and that's about what I can come to expect from these. So, I like this one. Next up, we're going to take the mutant Slizers, reassemble them, and we have Dynamo. This is probably my least favorite of these combos. It's just such a mess. The legs are essentially just blasters. Unfortunately, he's much more top-heavy now. They just shoved a bunch of stuff onto his torso. They made it taller. They made it far less stable. And they've just shoved it all on Blaster's legs. So he has a lot of trouble balancing or staying upright at all, for a set that already had trouble balancing and standing upright. The torso is really weird. I admire the attempt. I understand what they were going for, I just don't think it's executed very well. Because of it, he does have some waist articulation, I suppose. As far as functions, he has this jumble of Throwbot arms on one arm, so presumably you can use those at some point. He of course does have a gear function where you can move his head up and down, no surprise. And of course, again, the articulation and the usual disc throwing nonsense that you've come to expect from these. All in all, some of the decisions made here are just so bizarre, and I can't even understand why. Like the weird kinda cloak thing on the back, I don't really know what it's supposed to be. The whole thing is just awkward. That's the best word I can use to describe this. It's awkward, it's a downgrade from Blaster, and none of the other two Slizer components add anything substantially to this combo model. I really didn't enjoy dealing with it, and that's honestly how I could best describe it. It's dealing with it. It wasn't enjoyable to me. It was a chore I had to do. So all in all, least favorite, I really did not like it. And that's kinda it for those combo models. At least the official Lego-built ones. They are really, really peculiar. I'm not a big fan of any of them over any other combo model that I've really dealt with. Maybe with some exceptions, of course, and there are exceptions. But still, they're really awkward. They're kinda stiff in some areas. And the one that I like the most is the dinosaur, because, I'm a sucker for dinosaurs. Dynamo is just a mess of awkwardness and peculiar design choices. And Robotop's is just kind of a statue. He's just gonna T-pose over all of his opponents and expect that's gonna help him win. I don't think any of these three do anything particularly well, especially not in regards to other alternate combo models I've seen going forward, specifically from Exoforce, and in some instances from Bionicle. I don't necessarily recommend you build any of these. However, I hear you asking, Eljay, one of them isn't here. Well, yes, but he was in the intro skit, so you know I'm getting to him. Let's go ahead and move on to the last combo model. We go ahead and take this assortment of Slizers here, take them apart, rebuild them, and we have Hiker Mike. Now, Hiker Mike is actually a fan creation. This, according to everything I've seen, was not designed by the LEGO group. This was in fact created by a fan by the name of Bethany Heck, and it is the winning entry of a Throwbot building challenge that was officially hosted by LEGO. And honestly, this is my favorite of the alternate and combo models for Slizers. This one is just so much fun. There's so much personality here, and I think it does a really good job of using the pieces from all of the Slizers. The color scheme I think is kind of cool. I like the teal, I like the purple, I like the blue, I like, the little bit of white that's in there as well. It's a very low temperature color scheme, and I like it. It's very cool, calm, collected. As far as functions are concerned, obviously there are the two Throwbot arms for discs, and you can pull his head out and push it back in, and these wings on the top, or the side I suppose, they will go up and down. Nothing too crazy, but it's there. Honestly, it was when I was building this that it occurred to me, Slizer had a fan base. Like, this had people that enjoyed it, that spent time with it while it was a thing. Enough time to make a creation, to have a contest made to where you can put something into the contest and have it win, and then have that printed off in an official LEGO catalog or magazine or what have you. It just made it so real to me that people followed this theme. Even though I never did. I knew about it, but this never was something I followed for any great period of time. And so I thought that was kind of a cool perspective. However, there's one really strange thing about this combo model. Even though I like it, even though it's easily my favorite of the combo models, it has one thing that I found strange. You see, on the back where this antenna is, the piece that's holding it is this right here. And the reason this is strange is because this piece never appeared in any of these Slizer sets in black. In fact, it never appeared in any Slizer sets in black. However, it's here. Now you might be thinking, well, Jay, you just made an error, right? Well, here are the official instructions. And it's right there. Why? Did they intentionally do this? Did Bethany do this? Did LEGO do this? Did they intentionally swap that part out so that you would have to seek the part out in another set to buy that, making this not truly a Slizer combo model, and in fact, a combo model with another theme? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I guess all I'm asking is, what the heck? Thank you all so very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. and farewell.